ALS, Alternative Learning Systems.
Hello friends, in this video I am going to talk about water crisis in India and a report in this regard which was published by Niti Aayog in the year 2018 but was the subject of intense debate in June 2019 as well, when many parts of India was facing the water crisis situation. Friends, what you need to remember that water crisis in India is putting on threat millions of lives and livelihood. And we need to understand that this water crisis emerges from a geographical reality that India accounts only for 4% of global fresh water, but it accounts for 17.5% of world's population. This problem gets further complicated and is becoming acute in nature with the fact that water use efficiency for India is very, very low. Whether it's agriculture, whether it's household, whether it's industry, most of the activities in India are very low on water use efficiency. For example, irrigation alone consumes 2/3 of the fresh water in the country, and most of the popular forms of irrigation are 40% or below on water use efficiency. We need to understand the crisis that there is widening gap between demand and supply when it comes to water as a natural resource. And if we have to deal with this problem, we will have to bridge the gap between demand and supply. Now the big question is how we can bridge the gap between demand and supply of natural fresh water. So we have two options. The option number one is that we need to increase the supply, and then we need to reduce the demand or moderate the demand. Rather, the better word would be moderate or regulate the demand. If we have to increase the supply, we will have to focus on rainwater harvesting. We will have to focus on watershed management. We will have to focus on recharging the groundwater. And the philosophy which should govern our action and thoughts: catch the rainwater where it falls and store it to be used later. So rainwater harvesting, recharging groundwater, and watershed management holds the key as far as increasing the supply. When it comes to moderating or regulating the demand, the success depends on increasing water use efficiency, and we can increase water use efficiency if we promote water metering, if we promote water reuse, if we promote water recycle, if we promote the judicious use of this scarce resource in all the sectors of economy. So it's high time that all citizens must participate in a revolution, through a revolution, to conserve water if we want to save India from acute water crisis in the future. Now, the report which was prepared by Niti Aayog in 2018 after an exhaustive study about fresh water as a natural resource has brought in forefront some food for thought for policymakers and for every Indian citizens. Now, the report which was published by Niti Aayog in 2018 ranked all the states in India based on their water conservation efforts. And the ranking was done for Indian states in two categories. In the first category, Niti Aayog placed the non-Himalayan states, and in the second category, Niti Aayog placed Himalayan and the northeastern states, which are smaller and hilly in terrain. Now, in the non-Himalayan states category, Niti Aayog placed Gujarat at the top, followed by Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. So, these are the top 4 performing states as far as water conservation efforts are concerned, and when it comes to non-performing states in this category, at the bottom is Jharkhand, then Haryana, then Uttar Pradesh, then Bihar. And their index value is very low. For example, if you see for Jharkhand, the Niti Aayog calculated the index value of 35, whereas for Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, it calculated the index value of 38. But for Gujarat, the index value calculated was, right, 76, whereas for Madhya Pradesh, right, it was 59, for Andhra Pradesh it was 58, and for Karnataka it was 56. So, this is the ranking for non-Himalayan states. In the category of northeastern and Himalayan states, Tripura is at the top with the index value of 59, and the Meghalaya and Uttarakhand are the 2 states which are at the bottom with the index value of 26 only. So, this is a matter of concern. I would say none of the states are performing the way they should be performing, right, if we see the acuteness of water crisis in India. And Niti Aayog in its report, which became the subject matter of intense debate in June 2019 and was widely covered by electronic and print media, right, was some of the key observations in that report of Niti Aayog. And it seems that whatever has been predicted by Niti Aayog through its report, right, is going to be the reality in years to come. You know, Niti Aayog in the report said that 600 million Indian faces high to extremely high water stress. Can you imagine the numbers? 600 million Indian faces high to extreme high water stress. 2 lakh people every year die due to inadequate access to safe drinking water. Crisis is going to worsen. 20 important cities of India are going to run out of groundwater by 2020. That is, by the end of next year. 20 cities of India are going to run out of groundwater. By 2030, the water crisis in India is going to be acute to the extent that our demand is predicted to be twice than the supply. These observations bring us to the conclusion that it's high time when all policy makers should sit together and should formulate an intervention through which in all parts of India we can promote water conservation with maximum focus on rainwater harvesting, recharging the groundwater, watershed management, and promoting judicious use of scarce natural fresh water.